Okay guys, wanted to make a video about fortifying your home in a shit at the fan or WROL type scenario. We're going to make this very simple. Brought out a list. I'm going to go through it, so bear with me. But phase 1 would be ideas on what you can do right now. Phase 2 would be when shit hits the fan. Now, I believe personally we're looking at pretty hard economic times coming up. And for those guys that love to leave negative comments as soon as they click on a video, no, it's not the end of the world. You see, when Germany, they had hyperinflation, when that happened in Zimbabwe, when that happened in Argentina 3 times, China, Rome, the fall of the British Empire. Well, obviously it wasn't the end of the world because, well, here I am making a video. And you can't eat gold. Well, you can't eat credit cards and expensive iPhones and all that shit either. So, Anyway, this is for those of you who do want to learn. Get ideas. Of course, number 1, you're going to make yourself less of a target. Things are going to gradually get worse as people lose their job. Unemployment rate, well, it's a low one. Somebody loses a full-time job, get 2 part-times, that counts as 2 jobs. Less hours, less money, but they got 2 jobs. Labor participation rate, I looked into it a couple weeks ago, it's like 62%, something like that. Pretty bad. So, things are getting worse. Make yourself less of a target. Number 1, obviously, you should have home security. If you can't afford home security, or you want to put the money to other preps, you just don't want it for some reason, simple thing to do. Go online, eBay or something, or just print them out, a little bit of tape, and put them on the window. I've been doing this forever, right? Off and on, had security, sometimes did, sometimes didn't. But when I didn't, I still had this out there. Very simple. Put them on the window. If you own your home or you have a small yard, put the yard sign out there as well, right? They don't have to know you really don't have it. Say somebody's going to stake you out, they're walking by looking at it, they see these, okay, well, just choose another target. That's one idea. This wouldn't do it alone, but these ideas are going to add up, okay? Second idea, another kind of decal. Let them know you have a firearm. I pulled this off my window. Very old, wrinkled, you can see, but sun messed it up. But anyway, I've had this sucker forever. See, they know now that if they bust in here and I feel my life is in danger, it means their life is in danger, right? If they have a firearm, they got a 50-50 chance. That's not very good odds for either of us. They might want to just avoid that whole situation. Not bust in there. Yes, you let people know that you have firearms. However, are they going to risk it? If they bust in here, if I'm not home and somebody is, well, they won't maybe not get the shotgun, but they'll get at least the buckshot, right? So it might dissuade them. I'd rather have it than not. I've been doing this for years, right? Since, I don't know, maybe I was 19 or 20 doing this stuff. Anyway, another idea there. Another idea, if you own your home, maybe you can do this, maybe you can't. For those of you in apartments or condos, you probably can't, but you own your home or something, then put cactus or rose bushes under your windows. My grandmother used to have big ass cactus all around the windows. That would help. That's definitely going to deter somebody. That prickly pear will go through your boots, right? That's bad news. People don't want that, so they're less likely to go in through the window. They're actually more likely to go in through your front door, but we'll go over that later. So if you're able to do that, cactus or some kind of plants, thorns or something, that would deter them from getting in the window. There's tons of videos out there about upgrading your locks and putting rails in your frame and all that. Your door frame, the deadbolt is actually just really secured with a less than an inch wooden flimsy frame there, which can be easily kicked in. That's the number one point of entry. So what you'd want to do is have a big dog. And if you don't want a big dog, or you can't have a big dog, maybe you live in apartments or condos that don't allow it, well, then you can just put if you can, maybe you can't, but sign that says beware of dog. Dog will bite. If you own your home, you don't have a dog, put a big dog bowl out there anyway, right? And where it can be seen, obviously. So now they're thinking, if they see the decal, the security decal, well, you might have some home security. They see the firearm decal, well, maybe you have a gun that could be used on them. They see beware of dog sign, now they got to deal with a dog, which might attack them. It might sound off, you know, the neighbors or something. There you go. Now, another thing you can do is at the front door, you know, what you want to do is you want to go to a thrift store and buy the largest, the biggest pair of work boots you can find, and you leave them outside that front door, right? You want some guy walking by to look down and see, you know, he probably number one entrance is the front door. So at the front door, he sees a huge pair of work boots. He thinks some construction work, maybe a hard hat, you know, leave it out there sometimes. Next to the boots, thinks some huge construction worker. You're talking some gorilla-sized dude living in there. So there's something else he has to worry about. Home security, a shotgun, which, you know, big guy probably would have. You've got probably a dog, and then some big dude to deal with. Also, security cameras. They're not that expensive nowadays, guys. You can hook them up to your, you know, have them set up to your computer or your cell phone. If you don't want to have security cameras, then get fake security cameras, right? Doesn't really do a lot of damage. Depending on your apartment or condo, maybe you can, maybe you can't do this, right? But it just take two little screw holes, put it on there, and they don't really know that you don't have a camera there, right? It'd be another little line of defense. Another thing is go to a store, Walmart, dollar store. I mean, you know, where Dollar General, you can get them anywhere. These little sound alarms, right? They separate, sets off an alarm. They're dirt cheap, so put 2, maybe 3 on every window, on the door, right? Dirt cheap. If you have one, maybe they'll shut it off, right? But if you have a couple of them, then they have to deal with, you know, 2 or 3. So if they notice them, maybe they'll leave right away. They see the Brinks or ADT, and then they kick it in, they hear an alarm, they're out of there pretty quickly, most likely, right? Not guaranteed, but they're more likely to bounce. So that's just another idea. What I used to do, or still actually kind of do, is have the lamps on a timer all over the house, right? Got one room that doesn't, but anyway, the rest, yes. My bedroom, the lamp goes on when I get up in the morning, and the living room goes off. It goes on in the morning when I get up, but also a couple times throughout the night, right? I switch it up, so they don't know when you're home, they don't know when you're not, right? I've had friends knocking on the door like, hey man, I saw the light come on, what the hell, why didn't you answer the door, you know? Man, you know, sometimes I tell them I was probably into John, I was taking a bath, or I wasn't there. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, they figured it out eventually, but anyway, you know, lamps on timers, that would help you out. Of course, you can upgrade the locks. If you own your home, you can do that. There's a couple videos on doing that, changing. Like I said, the door is held, the deadbolts are held in place with a flimsy 1-inch piece of wood. You know, you can put steel bars and stuff in it. I saw a cool video about that. It was just about actually just the bar, but you know, anyway, that would help if you can do so. If not, the alarms would help. You know, do what you can, right? For those of you in a condo or a apartment or something, you may not be able to do this. Those of you that have your own home, you can do quite a bit more. But do what you can, right? Also, let's say you own your own home. Heard a good idea of like finding a large, like a small room or a hamper, like a walk-in bin or something, large closet, pantry or something. Turn it into a safe room, right? Where you build it up, 2x4s. I would say have some wind-up lights, radio, food, some guns. Reinforce it with 2x4s and a damn good lock. And of course, if you own the home, well, put the wooden frame. It wouldn't stop people, but it'd give you some time, right? And that could be very important. Now, let's say, oh yes, another thing, you know, light up the place at night. These guys I got at Dollar Tree. They're solar powered, right? And that's it. You just stick them out in the yard. Pick these up just for the video, actually. And I didn't rip it out. I'm gonna have to take that out. Anyway, do another one. One that I actually hold it with two hands. And they're dead now. Guess I gotta charge them up. Anyway, well, that worked in rehearsal. Well, here we go. I love saying that, but yeah, I guess they need to be charged up. But I'll set them outside later. Set them outside, light the yard up. And what I like about these is also an emergency, you could use them as a light source. You can pop them off, put the top on, put them in the yard, or, you know, after they're charged up, bring them inside. If you don't have any sort of light, candles, of course, you know, well, this would work after you charge the sucker. Oh, yeah. I don't know what the hell I did. Now they're coming on. I guess it just took a while. One more thing. Oh, I just let them sit for a bit. Well, what an idiot. These little screw locks, right? My place, sometimes it's cool outside. You know, in the wintertime I like to crack the windows a bit. But I said I leave kind of early sometimes. Well, these I have, you know, where the window will raise up about 3 inches. Right, if I forget to lock the window, well, it's not going to open more than 3 inches, which I always do, but just in case, there you go. Like I said, every little bit helps. Oh yeah, piece of paper. Get some pliers out of there. Now, let's say shit hits the fan. First off, and I thought this was a good idea, but I've heard actually from somebody else, but having a plan all set up, right? Just in case I'm not here, in case I'm not thinking straight. So just simply what to do. Maybe I'll make a video on this, maybe not, I don't know. But have a plan of what to do, right? I would say, number one, if you have a firearm, you know, if you've got several firearms, maybe a shotgun. You don't know how crazy things will get. Number one, load up a firearm. Right? Like a shotgun or something. If you got a handgun ready to go, you should always have it. But a shotgun, you know, I keep stuff in the safe. I keep a handgun at the ready. Shotguns up. You know, especially if you've got little ones. So you'd have a shotgun at the ready, probably like, you know, in the old days where the family rifle was hung over the fireplace for the same reason. You don't know who's going to get there at night. What's going to happen? So that's a good idea. You know, have it high where the little ones can't get it, but where you can get it to the ready, at the ready. Number two, you'd fill all containers with water. We're talking glasses, bowls, bathtub, everything, vases, everything you can. Fill it with water. Right? Southern Prepper had a good idea. He said to do, like said, if you have a dishwasher, you know, do whatever dishes you could with that little bit of power before things go out. Charge up batteries if you can. Right? Any laundry, throw them in the machine. That make things a little bit easier while you're waiting around. You know, just throw them in there, assuming you've done the water first. you'll live with dirty clothes. You won't live without water. So, assuming you're not the only one in the house, maybe do that. If you're waiting for other folks or something, then maybe not. I'd say be ready to board up the door, right? 2x4s, which I'm gonna got stuff up. I misplaced it, which I was gonna get rid of anyway, but I'll probably replace tomorrow, where you can attach onto the door and just bar it, right? In an emergency, I'd say probably put 2. Get ready to bar the door with 2x4s. Another thing, let's get into it. Have everything ready to go, right? You don't want to be looking for stuff. Got the sucker cheap, had it for years. You know, everything's ready to go. So, a couple of supplies in here. What am I looking for? Here we are. So, you would bar up the door, and then the windows, same thing. I would say what you'd want to do on the windows, get some large nails, probably larger than this. Got larger ones in here. Large nails. Have this ready to go in the closet, which I've got some, but I'm not bringing it inside. We're going to get yelled at today. But anyway, you drive nails through the wood, right? They stick out on the other side. You do that randomly, just all over, a couple through, and then you'd have screws pre-drilled. You put them up against the door or the window, and you drill them. You got a drill charged. You'd have the drills, or the screws ready to go, but right till they go almost about to go through. The nails would be sticking out, so somebody couldn't just shove it in from the other side. Right? Run nails through them. Like spikes, basically. You put that on the window, you drill them in place. Right? Good luck somebody kicking that in. Right? Don't do it from the outside. Another thing is people recommend putting bars in the window, but I've read in previous collapses, the first homes to get broken into were the ones with bars, the ones that looked like they had stuff to protect. So you would want to do this from the inside of your home, not from the outside. Again, I've heard people, well, I'm going to put some decorative bars in the windows. No. The first homes to get broken into were the ones that were barred. It meant there was stuff inside worth protecting. So don't do that. Another thing, after you've drilled the windows, and you want to use some big old screws too, man. You want, 3-4 inch, and you just have that shit ready to just screw right into the wall. Big old nails, which I got the boards already done in the outside closet. Drill bits. Have a little thing set up like this. Emergency radio. Right? You just wind that sucker. Alright. Pull it out every so often, just check it out. But you wind that sucker, test it out, put it back in there. Alright. Every now and then I'll get it when I'm off having a beer just to make sure. Mallet. Just in case. And also, after you've boarded up the windows. Very important, man. Some tarp and even shower curtain. Right? You don't want people to see that you have light, right? If everybody's in the dark and you have light, you're going to be in trouble. And you can have a couple sources of light. Of course, obviously, large candles, right? That's one way to go. You can have duct tape. That would be to just to make sure, go outside, make sure there's no light going out. If you have light, you're a rich target. Have lighters for the candles. I have in here prank lights, right? Shit with batteries and kerosene. I got some kerosene lamps outside. I'd probably just trade them off. Here, you wind it. back in place. You know, you can have hooks you can just set up, and got a couple different settings. Now the problem is here is that light from electricity is going to be very different from candlelight, so you're going to make yourself a rich target. So after you board up the windows, you put tarp and cover that up so nobody can see the light inside, right? Don't make yourself a target. Another thing, place alarms outside the perimeter of your property, right? You have bushes and stuff, do that. You can use you can rig up these guys. I've seen where you've got them on just wood and stuff outside, or in bushes with wire, and then got a nail where just, you know, you trip it and it pulls it apart, sets it off. You can have the beer and soda can alarms with pebbles outside and bushes. It just depends. I mean, just you know, you can put bells, you know, fishing string with bells or something, right? Got some of this guy that I'd put on some of the plants and stuff outside, right? Steel wire. Put that like trip wire or something, right? Bells and stuff. They trip. I put nails. Put this down low between trees and stuff. Somebody running, they're falling over. They can't see this at night, right? I probably just spray paint it too, and everybody that lives here would know where it is. But you know, in a hurry, you never know. Let them fall and hurt themselves. You can put string outside, right? You've got a patio or something. You can set things up at night. Put a vase, something that can break easily. Tie some fishing string, right? Have it where somebody running through at night is going to knock it over and make a lot of noise, right? Stuff like that, right? Set alarms outside your property, around the perimeter. You can see what else can you do? What I plan on doing, personally, I have a bookshelf. I put it near the entrances. There's a door and a window pretty close to each other. I figure if somebody's going to bust in, that'd be most likely where they get into. And nothing's 100%. If they want in, they're going to get in eventually. So I'm going to move my bookshelf near the entrance, and I'm going to put lots of bleach on that shelf, right? You're going to need bleach in day-to-day life. I'd recommend you stock up, but shit hits the fan, that shelf is going near the entrance. Let's say you got a bunch of bad guys bust in here. Can't take them all. You can't win that. But what you could do, what I would try to do, if I had a shotgun, I'd hit that bookshelf with a bunch of bottles of bleach, right? Concentrate, just pure bleach. Just raining on people trying to come in here, right? Talking blindness, talking about serious burns. They're not going to be firing at me. They're not going to come out. They're going to be too busy, right? So, you know, I'm kind of wily that way. I would never do this nowadays. But without rule of law, hey man, your life or death type situation, I know what I'm doing. You know, hell, I've thought the same thing with insecticide. That's actually, it's illegal from my understanding to use it against its purpose, but there's no law. You know, maybe that too. Of course, you would want to move heavy furniture. Use it as barricades, right? A refrigerator with no power, well then it's not going to do you much good as a refrigerator. But it might do good building a barricade, right? A safe, cover windows, stuff like that, right? Of course, you want to have an exit out, but you know, cover everything else. It's going to take some time. If you own your home, what you could do is, if you have a fence made of wood, you can run nails through the top. So, let's say, I just brought this stuff out for examples. This is your fence. You could take nails and run them through the top, sticking out on this side, outside. Right? It's going to be harder to come through. Also, if you wanted to, there's no neighbors on the other side. You know, you could put nails sticking out through the boards. No one's going to kick that in. Right? The flimsy boards that they make wooden fences out of. Another idea would be a board like this, which I almost forgot. Just a piece of plywood, right? what I would do, nails right through that sucker, making basically a bed of nails, right? And what I would do, outside the window, spray paint that sucker, and then it's just gonna have a bunch of nails sticking out. Put that under the windows. You got a small, lived in apartments with just a small patio before. Paint that black. Anybody jumping over that patio, they're in for a surprise, right? Good luck coming after me with your feet all torn up, right? You can, if you have a metal fence, I've had the idea of taking pliers and wire cutters, some regular old nails, thin nails or coat hangers, and making makeshift barbed wire. It's not going to stop people, but it'll slow them down, and that may be enough. If they're going to harm you, if they're threatening your life, well, then you know what to do when they're slowed down over that fence. And if not, it might deter them. Something to think about. Again, assuming there's no neighbors on the other side. So just some of the ideas. I mean, let's say you're alone, you've got land, home, and here's some trees. If you think, you know, people's going to come after your stuff with firearms, they're going to use trees as cover. You dig out the opposite side of the tree, maybe put one of them in there with the nails in it, cover it up. Of course, you know, assuming you don't have a dog and kids. If you have kids and dog, you can forget this, but you know, they couldn't use that tree as cover because there's a trap on the other side. And assuming there's nothing else that they could use for cover. Open area, trees, nothing else for cover. There you go. Right? Then they have no choice. They hurt themselves. You can offer them, hey, look, man, you know, I'll give you a chance. You throw out your weapons, you know, you strip down, you walk out with nothing. Make sure they don't have anything, you know. Just that simple. I'll let you go, but you're going to strip down. Get out of here. Don't let them see what you have. You know, if you wanted to. So I don't know. I have no idea. But just my idea is they can't fire at you. So just some of the ideas that I've had. I mean, you know, you guys can add on that, take from that, whatever. Of course, like I said, this is total, the last one's total shit the fan. There's no rule of law anymore. Some of the ideas I would do. People like, you know, you're not a, I'm not a medic. I'm not ex-military. You know, what do you got? Well, you know, I got my head. That's the most dangerous weapon of all. Right? Use your head, guys. There's all kinds of things you can think of. You know, I can't say everything. All the stuff I've thought of, you know, for defense. If it's my life or somebody else's and, you know, they're going to try to hurt me for no reason. Hey, I'm going to come up with a plan to defend myself. I recommend you guys do the same. Anyway, hopefully this gives you some ideas for a total shit at the fan. We're talking about just, you know, Mad Max style. People going to hurt you and your family. Hey, man. Just ways you can defend yourself. Anyway, hope it helps. Hope y'all guys liked the video. Alright, y'all have a good one.